Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. We'll start off as we usually do with the opportunity for public meetings. Greeting everyone. Today's SRLJC meeting will begin the public comment period for up to 15 minutes. As a reminder, there is a 3-minute limit per individual. Speakers should address the matters which are within the powers of the duty of the SRLJC. Speakers should also identify themselves and address the chair. Council members will not engage in dialogue with the speakers. If you'd like to comment and have not done so, send a chat message to the admin assistant, which is Medea Harris, and she will give you a speaker number and announce it when it's your turn to speak. So I'll open up that period right now.
That was the thing. Yeah, it's not. I can still. I think.
Go another couple minutes. See if anybody wants to speak. Everybody looks so cheery. As you guys' week must be going the same way my week is going. Busy, busy, busy. Jeez Louise. Medea, do we have anybody online that has expressed or has sent an email expressed they want to speak today?
Not at this time.
Okay, anybody, and no one by telephone or anything else, right?
Nope.
Okay, so open for first call for anyone from the public that wants to speak to SRLJC. Second call. Third and last call. We'll close the comment period and we'll open it up. First order of business is September 13th, 2023 SRLJ minutes approval. And do I have a motion to approve the minute?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thanks. So we have a first and a second. All in favor, say A. Say yay.
Hey,
Yay. Any opposed, say nay. Or raise your hand. Good, it carries unanimously and we'll approve the minutes. So today we have a couple things to talk about in the agenda before we talk about the work groups. So first order of business is this will probably be our last SRLJC meeting until next year. We'll give the holidays off for November and December because I know everybody's busy. The judges are super slammed trying to get all their dockets cleaned up and those things that are going on. So we will meet again in January. Do you have the date for that, Medea?
I do not. I'll send the invites out.
Okay, perfect. So, and that will give you guys actually another couple of weeks in your individual work groups to work on some of the stuff that you're working on. And it will, like I said, it will free up one of those meetings during your holiday seasons to get some stuff done. Second is I realized that I haven't updated SRLJC on measure 1. So what I would like to do is just to show a quick video on our educational video, just to kind of bring everybody up to speed. And for some background, we have been to several councils and several groups out talking about measure 1 and you know, some of the things that we'll offer and bring to the county, along with, you know, identifying some of those needs that the public may not be aware of. And so we're addressing those things in the video. And I think it'd be a good idea for you all to see, so you have some background on measure 1. And again, I'm not advocating or, you know, for the project or saying no about the project. I'm just educating the public and you all on it. So Medea, can you show the video, please?
In December 2022, the Board of Commissioners of Spokane County adopted a resolution to let measure number one
You got more volume than that, Medea?
talk about how Spokane County intends to use its revenue for measure number one
Nope.
to address criminal justice, public safety, and behavioral health needs resulting in part from population growth in the region.
You guys probably can't hear that very well, or can you hear it? Okay.
It would add a new 0.2% sales and use tax on purchases beginning April 1st, 2024, and running through December 31st, 2054. For every $10 spent by residents, visitors, and tourists in Spokane County, an additional 2 cents will be collected. 60% of the collected revenue will be allocated to Spokane County government, and 40% of the collected revenue will be allocated based on population to its cities and towns. Cities and towns can use their share of measure number one funds to meet local criminal justice, public safety, and behavioral health needs. Why measure number one? Population in Spokane County has been growing rapidly in recent years. As a community grows, so does its needs for criminal justice, public safety, and behavioral health investments. Just like growing populations means a need for more schools, libraries, parks, hospitals, and other public infrastructure. That is true in Spokane County today, where our criminal justice system is facing an overcrowded correctional facility and congested courts. Mental health needs and addiction rates are increasing. Crime rates are also going up. The need for resources to address these community needs is what led to the initiation of measure number one. Let's take these issues one by one. First, let's talk about criminal justice needs in our community. Due to overcrowding and outdated correctional facilities, today nearly 14% of low-level offenders are being booked and immediately released from the Spokane County Jail as a capacity management tool approved by the district and municipal courts. Law enforcement officers oftentimes wait in long booking queues. So how would Spokane County spend its measure number one revenues on improvements? To begin with, Spokane County can allocate measure number one revenues to improve criminal justice facilities and programs at all phases, from inmate booking and detention to release and community reentry. To reduce overcrowding and allow expanded programming, approximately $300 million would be used for constructing new facilities. Spokane County would consolidate inmates from different facilities in a new housing facility and a new community correction center on a central campus. That campus would be known as the Law and Justice Center of Spokane County. Measure number one, though, is about more than just new criminal justice facilities. It's about inmate programs like breaking barriers and helping justice-involved individuals successfully re-enter the community. Expanded programming in new classroom spaces for individuals in custody would include drug and alcohol treatment, job and communication skills, anger management, and GED classes. Using revenues provided by measure number one, Spokane County also proposes to make investments in criminal justice system improvements, from courtrooms and judges to prosecutors and public defenders. Plus, measure number one can fund investments in domestic violence programs and therapeutic or problem-solving courts, like mental health court or veterans court, that allow inmates to obtain treatment and services to address needs that may have contributed to the conduct leading to their arrest in the first place. Furthermore, measure number one can fund criminal justice reform recommendations from advisory groups like the Spokane Regional Law and Justice Council, made up of subject matter experts and community representatives. That can include smart justice programs aimed at reducing the number of people in custody, such as at-home electronic monitoring, jail diversion approaches, and alternative sentencing options. Moving on to public safety, measure number one revenues can be used by Spokane County, towns, and cities to pay for public safety initiatives, such as hiring more law enforcement officers and providing enhanced training. Measure number one can also expand co-deployed behavioral health teams that work with first responders to help provide safe resolutions for people in crisis. These teams help ensure better outcomes for those in crisis, diverting them from being arrested and instead directing them to therapy or services. On behavioral health, measure number one can fund programs like expanding and enhancing Spokane County's Crisis Stabilization Center, a facility that provides short-term care and intervention for people who are experiencing a behavioral health crisis in lieu of incarceration. This center helps people in crisis. Still have questions? Spokane County officials are attending community meetings leading up to the November 7th, 2023 general election on Measure Number 1 to educate the public about Measure Number 1. For more information, please also visit our website.
Okay, did everybody hear that well enough to do them? Okay, good. Any questions on it before I move on? Of course, this will be in the November vote and it's up to the public, but the reason I wanted to show it to you all is one, to educate you guys on what it's about, Measure 1 is about. And then number 2, your role in all of this, the SRLJC, and informing on some of the justice reform efforts, diversion programs, therapeutic courts, and things that we've been talking about. And that this money is earmarked to make some of those things a success and to fund some of those efforts that we're doing. So I think it's important for you guys to understand that there is an identified pot of money that we're going to be working with. And it's going to be up to us to kind of prioritize the ones we'd like to see, and pilot some of these things in the future here. So moving along after that, we're just
Mike, I have a question.
Okay.
So should that pass, it will be this committee that determines or makes recommendations, whatever, that's how that money will be allocated?
No, you'll make recommendations on a portion of it. A portion of it's earmarked already for the jail. And it can only fall into 3 buckets per the RCW: behavioral health, critical infrastructure, or law enforcement. So it's got to fall within that. So what this board will be doing is talking about the things we've been talking about through the blueprint of reform. And then I'm also sure that, Tori, you're going to make a plug for juvenile. And I see some other different departments coming forward with some of their wants and needs as well. And we're going to review them all. But that's up to the Board of County Commissioner and how they allocate and spend the money. So make recommendations, to your point, Tori. And we could bring suggestions, but it's up to the board ultimately to make the decision.
Okay. Thank you.
Moving on to the focus groups, why don't we start off with Tim this time?
Yeah, so we have not had a chance to meet. We're still collecting data. I got emails out to municipal and Superior Court, and they're building the data using the same questions that we asked District Court, and we got data from District Court. So we're just trying to get the rest of the data in, and then we'll go forward from there.
Okay.
So,
And then Tim, were you able to put together kind of a summary sheet for me so that I could be talking about what the SRLJC is doing in these focus groups? But I know I got one from Aaron, and I got one from Christy Ray. And so I was kind of waiting on the other 2 groups. So just give me a summary of where we are today and what we're doing, exploring, just so that I can report out to the board on some of the things that are taking place.
gotcha. So yeah, update the one that I sent to you 2 months ago. Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. And yeah, if you could do that, then I'm going to try to put together kind of a little, 4 or 5 slide presentation for the board to let them know some of the efforts that are going on, and that there is work being done behind the scenes, and that they can have an opportunity to see what's being worked on for the SRLJC and the steps that we're taking. So how about your group, Aaron?
Yeah, thank you. We did a lot of emailing back and forth. We didn't have a chance to meet in person, conferences and trials going on for folks, but we're still pushing forward with our diversion expansion, trying to flag cases at the time of first appearance. We've sent over 200 cases now to the prosecuting attorney for consideration. At one of our last meetings, Chris Thompson from the Sheriff's Department had floated the idea of identifying arrestees or new arrests within their reports, making or trying to flag candidates for potential diversion or specialty courts, at least making that that note in their police reports, but they're still kind of fine tuning what that might look like. So that hasn't been implemented yet, but I know that Chris is working on that. So looking forward to that. I did attend with some of my staff in district court with Judge Fassbender on October 3rd. We Went to a judges stakeholders meeting, learned about the forensic navigator program from DSHS, met with 5177 folks. Just got to learn a lot about their screening process, their referral process, which I didn't know about. So that's good to know. And it's really just good to make face-to-face connections with folks that are doing other similar diversion work. And so we know what we're all doing, and really so we can help support each other in the effort. I reached out and let them know, we can help track down their folks if they ever need it. So we will look to meet again as soon as we can once some of their people's schedules are freed up, and then we'll report back again.
Okay, sounds great. And great presentation, by the way, for the board, Aaron.
Oh,
You did a fantastic job. So,
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, moving on to Rochelle, I guess, because we don't have Justin Bingham today. So.
Hello. Yes. The race equity group, we have not met yet. We meet next Wednesday at noon or 11. So not too many updates. During that meeting, we're able to chat with some Seattle folks, and they over there have kind of a whole task force and office that has a lot of money that goes into it about race equity and anti-oppression work. That's really quite dynamic. And so I had a conversation with one of their leads over there. So next week, we're going to chat about that, and then hoping to schedule a phone call with that person. They offered to provide us a little bit of technical assistance on kind of how they got started, tips and tricks, some training and articles and such. So super grateful for that, since usually those things cost money. So yeah, more to come next week when we kind of collaborate as a group, talk more, and then schedule some phone calls with the Seattle folks that we're looking forward to.
Oh, perfect. And then can you send me a summary, Rochelle, just
Yeah,
by
you bet.
email? Since we're not going to meet until January, just so I definitely want to put together some slides. And then, I may just have Medea check in with you all through email just to see how progress is going. And if there's some more exciting news you guys want us to publish out there and let everybody know what's going on with it. And then also be thinking if there's a field trip you want to take to go look, if you find the superstar of all of this, what you would want to do and go look at it, or those type of things too. So.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, will do. Absolutely. And then, Mike, one question, wondering then if some of those phone calls were part of, if you would be interested in joining one of them with the Seattle folk, of kind of talking about that and hearing next steps. So that way you can hear it from them directly.
That'd be fantastic. Just
Okay.
get that over to Medea, and then she can get it on my calendar. And I'd love to. Absolutely love to. That'd be
Awesome.
great.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay, so that takes care of therapeutic, takes care of diversion, takes care of racial equity. And what other groups have I missed here? Good. Okay. So now I'll bring it on to any open comment that we have. If everybody's got any comments moving forward, they'd like to share with us or talk about. Okay. John?
Yeah, I was curious where we have landed on the Jennifer Morton application for Racial Equity Committee Chair.
I turned in her packet to the Board of County Commissioners. I wrote a narrative, an upfront narrative, kind of from an SRLJC perspective, along with calling out some of the things that she brings along, if she is selected to this position. We also received one more applicant that I included in the packet that they're going to be reviewing as well. So as soon as I hear back from the board, when did I do that with you? Was that on Monday, last Friday, or Monday, one of the two? But they have them, and as soon as I hear back, I'll report out by email. That would be something that Medea and I do by email, let you guys know about that.
Okay, thanks, Mike. That's all I wanted, is to make sure the commissioners got it. I sent you an email, and for everybody else, there is no bylaw against having an elected official as a racial equity chairperson. And so there is just the only thing of concern, and it would land in the commissioner's lap, is whether there is a conflict of interest. And so I think this council is safe forwarding, those, applications to the commissioners. So thanks for doing that. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, and I appreciate your feedback, and that's exactly what I did. I just kind of compiled it into a packet, gave a little summary or narrative sheet on the front end of it, and then handed it off to them. And then they all each individually review it. If they want to bring them in for a interview, they can. And so, like I said, and there's also another one that's in that packet as well. So, okay. Anything else for the good of the cause? Are you guys going to get back a half hour of your time here? Okay, well, it was good to meet with all of you, and I'll keep trying to keep up progress keep in touch with your progress on the individual things that we're working on and working towards, and I'll provide you updates on the racial inequity position, along with anything else that comes our way, kind of report out. Otherwise, be looking to meet back up in January, and you guys have a fantastic holiday season. So sounds kind of crazy to be saying it now in October, but really you guys know how fast it comes on you and all the things that we have to do. So, all right, you guys have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks.